Hi guys, my name is Amara, and this channel, Mastery with Amara, is my attempt at documenting the lessons I've learned on my way to trading the funds of prop firms and HNIs. My hope is that you find something valuable from my content and that you level up your trading in doing so. If you stick around, I'll show you how I intend to hit this goal, and in addition to that, I'll show you one other thing I'm working on in 2023. So now, what's the problem? The problem is, right now I trade just two currency pairs, Euro USD and GBP JPY. And I find that there's times when the market conditions for the pairs in which I trade are not ideal. So I find that I usually have to stay out of the market, and that's not a bad thing at all. But I think about the possibility of exploring other markets, right? And taking advantage of those other markets in a way that lets you make profits of those markets. But I can't do that because I don't know my stats. And because I don't know my stats, it affects my confidence levels, right? There was a time before I started trading full-time when I used to trade synthetic indices and asset class offered by Deriv. Deriv is a broker. And what happened was, at that time, when I had just started learning to trade that market, I couldn't confidently place trades and confidently let those trades do what they needed to do to give me the kind of profits I wanted. And the reason was because I didn't know what my strike rate was. I didn't know what risk to reward was best for the way and style in which I traded. I didn't know what days were the best days to trade and all of those kinds of things. So it took me asking myself, okay, what was the best thing I did today? And what was one bad thing I did, and how can I change that bad thing? And it took asking myself those kinds of questions on a daily basis to see that, oh yeah, this problem stemmed from the fact that I don't know what my stats are. And so eventually I began to forward test, because I wasn't just MT5 then, and I didn't have the opportunity to backtest. I could only just demo trade and forward test my ideas and all of that. And it was doing that over an extended period of time, took me months, that I was finally able to come to know what my numbers were, what my strike rate was, what my win risk to reward was, and all of those kinds of things that eventually gave me the trust I needed to be able to execute confidently. So with that in mind, I want to apply the same thing to the Forex markets. My thinking is that I should be able to explore other markets at times when my markets, my staple markets, are not giving me what I want, right? But I can't just do that without knowing what my statistics are for those other markets. So I decided to take this challenge on. Now, the thought of doing this came to my mind by listening to Alex Hormozi and Vusi Tembekwayo. And these are people who usually advocate for doing a lot of iterations of a particular thing. And to do those kinds of things in trading, it means you need to have a high number of trades. It doesn't necessarily need to be 5,000, guys. Don't get me wrong here. I'm doing 5,000 because I felt like taking on the challenge, and why not, right? And for that reason, I will have a lot of pairs in which I can confidently choose from based on what I know my historical data is. So to do this, I'll be working with 19 pairs. I chose 19 pairs because the way I trade, like I said earlier, my market conditions are not always ideal. So there's times in which I have ideal market conditions, and there's times in which market conditions are not ideal based on my trading style and my trading strategy. So for that reason, I chose 19 pairs so that at least in a week I have a minimum of 10 pairs that meet my market conditions for trading. Now I'll be working with Excel, but you could choose to use Excel or Notion. What is important is that you journal your entries, your exits, the day of execution, the time frames, the size of your stop losses, the size of your take profits, the risk to rewards, and any other thing that you might consider as beneficial. Also, I'll be using TradingView's replay tool to achieve this goal. So how do I intend to achieve this? On average, my strategy gives me around 5 to 10 trades in a week on each currency pair. So if I have 10 currency pairs in which I'm backtesting, 10 trades in a week times 10 currency pairs will be 100 trades backtested in a week. And if you do that over 50 weeks, assuming I like to make room for life happening, right? So assuming I do that over 50 weeks, I would have backtested 50,000 trades. Now I understand that the market is what dictates how many trades I get in a week. So the number could skew. It could be anywhere from 5 to 1 to 3, but on average I have around 5 to 10 trades in a week. So that's what I'll be working with. Now also, I just purchased the Fiverr instant funding, and I'll be updating you guys about how that goes over the course of the year. Now, if you think that you'll be interested in seeing how I progress in these things over the course of the year, feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. My goal is to be as transparent as possible. I want to share and offer relatable and inspiring content as I go through my trading journey, and we hope that it helps even one person to become a better trader. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers and God bless.